What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Darren, and
Arya.
I just wanted to talk to you guys about a few things that we were just talking about. It kind of got to me in a way, but I guess for anybody that's not American, and I understand in America we have rights and we have like estimation of culture in the sense where it's like, say you have someone from Korea, they come to the United States. The more people that are from Korea come to the United States, the more Korea becomes the United States. But you got to understand, America is an entity of itself, and we do have a certain way we do. Like we like pizza, we like to go to football games, we like to play basketball, we like to have rights for everyone, for women, for men. We like equality, at least on paper. And I was just told a little story about how someone that I know went to school and then they would split into American culture, right? Like
They would make American friends,
yeah,
like start to see American culture, but in a sense, they were viewing it from an outsider's perspective. They were told to view it from an outsider's perspective. Like their parents would tell them when they got in the car, "You're not them. That's not your culture. This is your culture." Like they'd essentially be brainwashed every single day. And when they got to school, they would see another side, but then they would start seeing something different. They would see people that they're not relatable to anymore after a certain time. And that's what he's trying to say. He's having a hard time believing it.
because okay, so guys, okay, so right now we live in California and I'm from Ohio, and it doesn't happen like we're all one culture. We're American. This person was born an American citizen or born American, lived here um their whole entire life, yet no, like, oh, they're not, that's not our culture. Like, so what is, I'm sorry, what is American culture? If that's the case, if we all, okay, so I'm black, there's black culture. Oh, so, oh, no, I'm sorry, African culture. And the other's white guys, European, that's European. So what's the point of having American? What's the point of being an American? What's the point of having American culture if we're all just going to have, if
I
it's all
think.
going to be
Wait,
different
no.
entities, you know?
I'll try and answer your question. I think American culture is all cultures just existing in one culture,
But I understand, but there's a certain
like
way that we do things.
in
Like,
no, in certain regions of America it's different. Like in California you guys are all liberals, in Ohio you guys are all conservative, but in California you guys are so liberal it's almost conservative. Like you guys are so set in your ways you won't accept anything else. How do I give that example that we were talking about?
um, let's
Like
okay, all right. So said person had to go to court against uh, an accused or against the what's it called, the defendant
whatever
and
the term
whatever.
is, yeah.
So their opposer, or whatever, and the opposer was from a country in the Middle East, and many things were said over in the Middle East, like, "Oh, I wish if you Americans, if I had an atomic bomb, I'd blow you guys, I'd
Yeah.
blow you guys all up, and I'd kill all of you Americans." That person, true story, Lord strike me down if I'm lying. That person is now in the United States trying to obtain a green card, and the lawyer, said person was going to the lawyer.
All for money.
Yeah, said person was the person who was uh, went to court and tried to like kind of help herself or whatever. She told the judge, like, hey, this man said this and that, and I don't want anything to do with him. I don't be affiliated with him. I want to be done with everything. And the lawyer kind of took it to a blind side, and she lawyer asked I mean the lawyer, I'm sorry, the judge took it to a blind side. The judge asked him, you know, is this all this true? And he said no. But yet no, the person that was there with him heard everything. It's kind of like
All because that person didn't have a lawyer and didn't have the money. Basically, people with money can get away with everything.
exactly, but it's so funny how like hadn't this been in Ohio, the judge would have looked at him and been like, he
And
would have
that's what I'm
started,
saying. It's different regions like have their own different
yeah,
cultures.
he would have started, he or she,
It,
I'm sorry, they would have started questioning him. They would have started to chastise him and say, okay, what are the true reasons? And then it would have been another case. you got to consider this too. Like there are so many of these people that are in this country right now. Like I said, I'm all for equality and let people come in if they but let them have good reasoning to. If there's a story behind it, maybe it's worth digging in.
You know what they should
digging
do?
in.
Questioning at the airport. Like, I don't know why they don't do this for every single person who comes here based off of like a visa that you obtain on based off of a marriage. Why don't they question you at the airport? Like when you get here, they should have those people that can just tell within a second that they're lying or they're not lying about why they're here. They should do that because some people are really good liars apparently, and they can get away with anything. And it's a true story.
Just like that guy who the terrorist attack
Yeah.
on Christmas Day or whatever, like he had his little visa here, green card. He's like, oh, I'm going to school,
Yeah.
and came over to America, and right, he was 20 minutes away from landing from Detroit. They said he was recruited by like Al Qaeda or whatever. He failed to blow up, or he detonated the explosive, but the blast wasn't potent enough, and like it's just things like that. It's like you just never know, and then we have someone that has credible proof that
No, all because they like the I'll just say it, the rape didn't happen here on American soil. They can't do anything about it. Oh, and you have no evidence. How are you supposed to prove that? Isn't psychological damage good enough? Like, why don't you evaluate me with a psychiatrist? Like, why don't you say that and say, oh, why not we send her into a room and actually have her talk to her, and then the psychiatrist will be able to tell, like, they'll be able to decipher if they're telling the truth or not. That would be a really good way, but don't just like blindsidedly say no, you're not telling the truth because you don't have any evidence. Because sometimes when that happens, you don't have any evidence because most of the time rape doesn't happen in an open room. It happens in a closed room with nobody there, and it happens by the people you trust the most in most of the cases.
I'm gonna make a Bill Nye's quote, and this is gonna be a kind of like a tongue twister, but listen to this: the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Exactly, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence.
Like,
Just,
oh, you don't have any
just
evidence,
because that person
so
couldn't prove it,
you're
yeah,
not,
it
you're
doesn't
you're
mean that,
guilty.
that doesn't mean that there was nothing truly there.
And
That it
this
wasn't
guy
there.
gets to
Yeah.
go free and do whatever he wants.
I want you to just America. I want you to remember that the person that made these comments, that he said that if he had a nuclear bomb, he'd blow up the United States, and they hope we all die. He's here right now,
Yeah,
obtaining a
and
visa.
nobody like believed that girl. Nobody.
Yeah, think about it. He's here right now. He's here right now. I want you to remember that when
Yeah.
I get it, being progressive is good.
It's crazy.
Because
How he,
California,
and like he completely acted like as if he didn't say any of those things, or as if he's a completely different person, and he put up a. It's crazy to me. Like he put up a different front. Like he's not what he. Even I couldn't believe him. I was like, "Whoa, this isn't the person." But I know what happened. We were
whatever,
talking about
cat's out of the bag. Okay, ding. Like I said,
Yeah.
and this will lead into we'll do a YouTube video later on about my story and her story whenever she's ready. Because you guys just need to know that like it's not what you think. I'm American. I left the military because I was like, I'm standing up for them. Like, don't go over there and don't start war with them. And you were in the wrong. But when I had no idea when I met her about the things that happen over there and the way that people are. Like I had no clue. Like
Crazy.
no clue. You know. But hey, that's just how it is. Do you have anything else to say?
I'm too mad to say anything
Like I said, guys, like this is as Americans, we don't see this. We just see the media
right
as and the
all
army
you,
and the
all
military
you
as
guys
being.
see, let me say this. All you guys see is I get it. You guys want the good people to come over and stuff. You want equality, but you want equality so much that you're willing to blind yourself from all the people that are actually bad. And sometimes for example, what President Trump was trying to do when he banned those countries, I'm on his side because there are a lot of people who get away with things and they come here. Like this guy that I'm talking about, he hid his age. He's 2 years older than he actually is. And I bet the American government doesn't know that because when he was born, something happened and he had to have a fake age in order to get in school and something. Anyways, they can do anything to get here, and you guys would be fooled because you're so blinded by being liberal and freedom and having independence that you want everybody to have it, and it really pisses
But
me
not
off.
everybody deserves it.
Exactly, and what President Trump was trying to do is he was trying to protect us, and that's what you're not understanding. And you guys were going on your riots and saying, "Oh, let them in" and stuff. Like that's messed up. Like you guys don't understand.
So my thing about it is this: the guy that did the terrorist attacks on the uh near like Detroit, or he blew up the attempted to blow the airplane.
Crazy.
When they took him in for a question, he said there are hundreds that are like me that are willing to carry this mission out, that are going to carry this mission out.
Crazy.
And at this point, how terrorists get more and more creative. Like he was, this is '09, 8 years after 9/11, he was able to smuggle the chemical bomb onto the airplane.
Yeah.
They're coming with new ways. This is my thing. I think terrorists are going to become. They're going to get their green cards, and they're not going to be the ones to do it, but they're going to birth children to the United States, so they're going to be American citizens, and that's the way they're going to go about doing it. They're going to do what her relatives did to her. They're going to brainwash them into thinking a certain way. That way, when the time comes for them to carry out the mission, they'll be able to carry out the mission. Because if she was brainwashed into believing that she didn't have rights, she didn't believe that she had rights as an American.
I didn't know. Like I learned about rights, but I didn't know they applied to me because my parents always told me that
Exactly,
whenever I came home from
exactly,
school, they would always tell me that these are not your friends. They're different from you. You are not them. We are not them. I'm like, okay, I guess. And I started, like, what do you do when that's all you know? You start to believe it.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying, y'all. Like, if you let these people in with with their like the tendencies, and they have children, they raise their child from birth all the way up until God knows what 18, 19, 20, 21, with the mindset of having a mission, like heaven forbid.
Yeah, that's possible. I could see that happening. Cause
Yeah, who knows what could happen, y'all? Like, you don't even know if
I'm gonna be honest. Like people probably still won't believe us when they watch the video. Just saying.
Hey, man,
It's so crazy that they won't believe us. This idea.
we have a
so crazy.
we have a Pakistani here that lived in Pakistan for
a whole year. Almost a year. It was like 9 months.
And every 2 years of her childhood, she would go to Pakistan. So
yeah.
I'm not just black man just saying whatever he wants. He has no proof. Well, this is the proof. Someone that's actually been there. She's from Karachi, by the way.
No, I'm not from Karachi. My parents are from
whatever,
Karachi.
where she was at, whatever. But like I said, y'all, this is Darren Worth. Sorry to sign off. Be wary, just I can't just tell you guys, I couldn't tell you guys just to make the right call, because nobody can truly make the right call in a certain time, but just be very.
I'll say this. So, like, after he met me, when he sees any like hijabis or Pakistanis, like specifically women, why don't you tell them what you think when you see that now? Like, when you see a woman with a Pakistani guy, what do you think? Over here.
Okay. All right, so guys, we're signing off.
Sorry.
That's okay. Have a blessed day.
Okay. Wait. We'll go into that in the next video. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
I didn't know we were doing that.
All right. Have a blessed day, and then like I said, may God bless us all: Black, white, Middle Eastern, Japanese, Korean, African. Just God bless us all, and that we may do the right things, and so we can protect the people that we love. All right, we're out.